incredible match between two pure wrestlers who can get the job done. Mr. WrestleMania, who's been headlining WrestleMania for years, going up against a new talent, a superstar like Daniel Bryan, who he has a tremendous amount of faith in to be a future WWE champion that people are going to remember. It's just that WWE haven't given Daniel Bryan that opportunity to hold the WWE Championship as much as they've given him the opportunity of holding the World Championship, which he's held for a few months in the past. And based on the success that he had as World Champion, it's beyond me why they haven't given Daniel Bryan the opportunity to be WWE Champion as sufficiently as they have earlier as the World Champion when he was defending the championship successfully against the likes of Sheamus and Big Show and Mark Henry, some of the opponents that Daniel Bryan had. And apart from that, he was also in a program with AJ where AJ was his manager while he was World Champion, so both of them were receiving a push. But going back to what I was saying about John Cena, out of the two, Randy Orton or John Cena, who would you rather see as your unified champion at this point in the WWE? I mean, you couldn't have two better representatives. I mean, John Cena and Randy Orton, no matter if they're representing Raw or SmackDown, like they both have done in earlier years of their careers in different reigns as champions in the WWE, you couldn't have two better representatives. So to unify the championship at the end of 2013, you couldn't have two better wrestlers going one-on-one in a match for the unified championship. And under TLC rules, this is the first time ever that these two superstars will go one-on-one. So we've seen matches between Randy Orton and John Cena. You throw tables, ladders, and chairs in there into the mix, and you get a brutal match that wrestling fans will be talking about 5 years after it happens. And the styles of both of these wrestlers are so similar. On a 5-star scale perspective, you can easily rate this match without even having seen it at least 4 out of 5 stars, because you know this is going to be a pure wrestling encounter with so many close calls and situations that both of these superstars will find themselves caught up within, that this match could go any way. And with the Authority, the Shield, so many different factors on the outside of the ring playing a contribution to the outcome of this match, it could go either way. The Authority kind of teased the fact they have something going on with John Cena, but I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that this match will go the way of Randy Orton aligning himself once again with the Authority to set John Cena up for something bigger that will happen for him at WrestleMania 30. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Randy Orton won the Championship Unification TLC match and then had to defend the championship against John Cena, who will probably win the 2014 Royal Rumble, joining within my predictions of Daniel Bryan and CM Punk being two possible winners of next year's Royal Rumble match, and John Cena winning the Royal Rumble match to give him something to do at WrestleMania 30. If he doesn't face The Undertaker, he'll challenge Randy Orton for the undisputed WWE Championship. And take into consideration, this is the first year that the winner of the Royal Rumble won't have a choice of facing either champion of Raw or SmackDown, because they'll be taking on the unified champion, whoever it is, by the time we get to WrestleMania. Who's to say it won't be Randy Orton? It'll be someone else probably by the time we get to WrestleMania, because we still have a few months to go. What if it was The Undertaker who was the unified champion? Then John Cena would face The Undertaker. We get that rumored match we've been talking about for months between John Cena and The Undertaker, where the Undisputed Championship would go up against the streak of The Undertaker. That would be interesting to see a challenger challenging for the title, also having the opportunity to take away the streak from The Undertaker. I mean, there are so many opportunities that we have for main events this year at WrestleMania. Of course, then there is the return of Goldberg. So many rumors up in the air for this year's WrestleMania that we're kind of just throwing around in conversation about the event. But I think there aren't as many Randy Orton fans out there as there are John Cena fans, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if a lot of people are favoring John Cena in this match with how Randy Orton has been treating legends as of late, disrespecting the likes of Mick Foley and Bret Hart. Now, I will go on record for saying, don't really approve of how he treats legends, either spitting in their faces, kicking them in the head, running them down in a promo on the microphone. There's no need of that. Disrespecting the Survivor Series panel the way he did at the recent Survivor Series pay-per-view, when you had the likes of, I think Booker T was in there, Mick Foley and Bret Hart with the Survivor Series panel. This year, the way he disrespected Mick Foley, the way he ran down Bret Hart into the dirt, and in earlier years, when Bret Hart returned, he threatened to kick Bret Hart in the head. I mean, there's no reason for that. So that kind of makes me want to turn on Randy Orton altogether, but then you have to kind of give Randy Orton the benefit of the doubt and say that Randy Orton is as good as what he professes to be. Now, I haven't always said this about Randy Orton. I haven't always been the biggest Randy Orton fan, and I'm probably in years to come I won't be as big of a Randy Orton fan as I am now, and it has a lot to do with the fact that Randy Orton is facing John Cena. But with how good Randy Orton has been over the past couple of months, I mean, Randy Orton has impressed me along with a lot of other wrestling fans out there, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if Randy Orton is a candidate for this year's Superstar of the Year award, which has been won by John Cena more than once. So with John Cena winning that award more than once, why can't you give that honor to someone like Randy Orton or Daniel Bryan, who I am a huge fan of? I think that that is an opportunity that needs to go to someone else. Going back to what I've been saying for months, John Cena is a very overrated wrestler who is always being talked about, and probably being talked about a little too much. It's frustrating me that we're seeing so much conversation revolving around John Cena, and I don't blame wrestlers for wanting to take the opportunity of being the face of the WWE away from John Cena. I don't blame Dave Bautista from 2010. I don't blame Randy Orton from earlier this year when he started claiming that he was the face of the WWE, and he deserved an equal opportunity to be just that. And that's why he aligned himself with the authority when he was presented with the opportunity to do so. He contradicted a plan with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon to become the WWE champion. And now it seems as if the authority are losing faith in Randy Orton's ability to be the WWE champion and what will represent the WWE for the next maybe 5 through 6 years. I think Randy Orton can do it. I just think that WWE creative need to have a little bit more faith in Randy Orton, and I think for the lack of faith, that's why Randy Orton's kind of been temporarily put on the back burner to superstars like John Cena and The Big Show. WWE are trying to always come up with something for these superstars to do, but they're unable to do it, and that's because you're putting superstars like Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan on the back burner all the time. I think this reign of Randy Orton as WWE champion needs to be prolonged, and not taking away anything from anyone else who could be undisputed champion. I don't think anyone else, with all due respect to anyone who is in a position right now who may think they are in a position to challenge for the WWE Undisputed Championship, I don't think anyone is in a position to challenge for that championship right now, or be the undisputed champion as much as what Randy Orton is right now. I mean, if you actually look up some YouTube footage of Randy Orton from 2013, I mean, he's worked against everyone from The Big Show to Goldust in individual matches, and he's made every single one of them look outstanding. Not taking anything away from legends like Goldust and The Big Show, who had made Randy Orton look equally as outstanding, but I mean, Randy Orton has been overworked in 2013, not to mention the fact that he came in and filled the vacancy when John Cena was out with an injury and had to undergo surgery and rehab earlier this year. It seems to me whenever John Cena goes down with a major injury or a career-threatening injury is sustained by John Cena, Randy Orton is always there to come in and pick up where John Cena left off. So I think because of that, Randy Orton should be rewarded. If not with Superstar of the Year, definitely by being the undisputed champion by the TLC pay-per-view. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Randy Orton is the guy who can get the job done. A poll on our website asked our listeners the question, our listeners and visitors of this website, who do you want to win the TLC match at the TLC pay-per-view for the Unified Championship? And the choices were John Cena or Randy Orton. You can see what the results were on our website. They are very diverse and they are very different from any other poll that we've thrown up here on our website. And out of the two suggestions, I preferably would want to see Randy Orton win this match. But who do you want to see this match come down to? Who do you want to see by the end of this match as your undisputed champion? You can let me know on Facebook by joining the conversation with over 1,000 fans. Facebook.com/HEW Entertainment. On Twitter at Jonathan Clarke1, and on our YouTube channel with over 24,000 views. YouTube.com/JonathanClarke22. You can throw us up some comments on this TLC match. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see who becomes the Undisputed Champion. Of course, we'll be doing a follow-up out of whoever wins the Undisputed Championship match with the WWE Champion. Will be going up against the World Champion. And of course, you can throw in how John Cena has come back off of injury. They gave him the World Championship because of what was going on between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan for months. WWE didn't want to kill the idea immediately of having Randy Orton feuding with Daniel Bryan. They brought Shawn Michaels in as a special referee of the Hell in a Cell match this past October. That was a great match with Shawn Michaels super kicking Daniel Bryan. You know, we saw that coming weeks leading up to it, and they continued with that storyline. Of course, Shawn Michaels offered Daniel Bryan the chance to shake his hand. As a follow-up to the match, we see Daniel Bryan lock Shawn Michaels in the LaBelle lock, and of course that teases that Shawn Michaels will face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, and probably Randy Orton will face John Cena to determine who is the undisputed unified champion of the WWE for the first time in well over a decade. If you can remember, the first undisputed champion in WWE's history was Chris Jericho back in December of 2001. That was something like 12 years ago. So we're going to be crowning the first undisputed champion in over a decade. The first undisputed champion in history was Chris Jericho. He defeated The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, something that he's never let us forget about. And if you were to ask me what would be the main event for TLC 3 or 4 months ago, I would have never said John Cena versus Randy Orton in a championship unification match. If this match were to happen at any point in WWE's history, you would expect it to happen at WrestleMania 30. And who's to say the results of this TLC match won't imply that Randy Orton and John Cena won't determine who the undisputed champion is up until WrestleMania? I mean, anything can happen in the WWE. We're just going to have to sit back and wait and find out what happens as wrestling fans, and really at this point, that's all we can do. But if you want my prediction in this TLC match, you've read it on my website, you've read about it in written columns, you've read about it for cheap shots from Jonathan Clarke in our Google video blog, you've seen John Cena and Randy Orton Retro Classics that I posted up for our Google video blog and throughout this website on Facebook and Twitter. My prediction is Randy Orton will win this match, and of course it has a lot to do with the fact that I absolutely and utterly hate John Cena. I posted more than one video blog where I've referenced the idea of how much I hate John Cena. Of course it has a lot to do with that, but it also has a lot to do with appreciation for everything that Randy Orton has done. No matter if you like him or you don't, you have to go ahead and give Randy Orton the benefit of the doubt. And I predict by the end of TLC on December the 15th, Randy Orton will be your undisputed unified WWE champion. Another thing that really irritates me is how some wrestling fans believe WWE will replace the championship that has the name of the organization on it with the World Championship because of the history of the World Championship. That is a prediction of an absolute and utter idiot who doesn't understand anything about the wrestling industry. Yes, I understand the idea of the fact that the wrestling industry has to change with the times. That's been said more than once for many documentations that have been released by WWE or any wrestling organization. Yes, as much as a wrestling organization has to change with the times, are you really going to take out a title that has the name of the organization